Don't be a flake. Don't run away from your feelings, babe. Don't be afraid. Don't be ashamed. Don't hesitate to say, hey, babe. Hey, babe. Hey, babe. Hey, babe. Hey, babe. Hey, babe.
What's up, everybody? I'm Chris Distefano.
And I'm Sal Vulcano.
And this is Hey
Babe.
What's up, everybody?
How you doing?
It's good. I wanted to get it I wanted to catch you mid-sip and maybe have you choke you on camera. Yeah. What's in that?
It's nothing. It's a powder that it's a green juice powder. It's like superfoods.
Which company? Let's promo them.
Listen, we're gonna listen. Here's the new thing. Instead of holding back, we're gonna promo everyone.
Yeah,
we're throwing out a wide net. But the thing is, here, this is organic and it's real. We're not saying Maserati just to say it.
No.
This is something I use. It's called Athletic Greens.
Okay.
It's a little bit pricey. But it's like a team of scientists came together and professionals.
Yeah.
And they put this superfood packet together. It tastes to me actually not even better than decent.
Really? It's actually
like people think that, it tastes like grass or like earth or green juice, because green juice in general can be loaded with sugar sometimes with the apple and the lemon and all that stuff. It just has loaded with vitamins and all all your antioxidants. So I start the day with it.
So that's what you do. You skip breakfast and you go right to that.
For the most part.
Very good. And coffee. You said coffee is your key.
When I'm trying to lose weight, coffee is an appetite suppressant for me, at least.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. I'm a guy. We're having different mornings so far. So you woke up, you're productive, you're having the athletic green juice.
I mean, I'm not healthy at all. You know that.
I'm saying,
last night, actually, I went off the deep end last night. That's also why I'm probably just feeling guilty.
What happened last night?
Just a lot of food in my mouth.
You went crazy?
Yeah.
And no holds barred, just anything.
Well, I hold bars all day.
Right.
And then last night I got home. And I was like watching the Police Squad.
Right, which is a great show.
And I looked, and I just recently did a Trader Joe's run. Again, we were just like, now it's just like, now it's just a plug at the plug. But
yeah,
let me tell you something. I will say something. Wegmans, and I don't know if Wegmans is something that is nationwide, but Wegmans is a food chain here.
Okay.
At least in the tri-state area that I know of.
Yeah.
That really does everything right. And for a long time, they're great to go to Wegmans because they also have food that you can eat while you're shopping, and they have like places to eat it. And the selection. I could go on for days.
I'm going to tell you something right now, and I'm going to look you in the eye so you know I'm not lying. I've never in my life been inside a Wegmans. And I've
Have you heard of them?
in New York City.
Have you heard of them?
No, where are they?
I don't believe we have one in New York, but they're in Jersey.
Oh,
Wegman''S. There might be a double N. I'm not sure.
I think I've heard of them. So what is it about Wegmans?
It's a supermarket that does it right. They have everything, and they have everything from the products that you want, but then they have a really nice they have a great deli, a really nice hot section that you could weigh foods. They have a pizza section, a bakery, they have sushi, they have all that kind of stuff, and then they have places where you could eat on premises in the supermarket.
Right.
So it's a pleasant experience. They used to be my really. I haven't been there in a long time, but I once tweeted, if I could marry a supermarket, I'd marry a Wegmans.
Interesting. See, and I'd marry the A&P.
A&P, you really? Because I feel like they took a hot shit in the last couple of decades.
Well, the only reason why...
That was my neighborhood. That was my childhood supermarket.
Same with me. That's why I think that there's a nostalgia there for me, because the A&P, I used to like going to... My mother, I remember it's the first time I was about 10 years old, my mother sent me to the A&P alone. The first time I was ever able to walk alone and do a task for my mother was she sent me to the A&P to get half a pound of turkey, half a pound of cheese, and apple juice, because things for my, next, day at school, whatever. Sal, the very first time. Yeah. That's why, like, you say things, you bring up supermarkets, and there's things in my head, and I forget. The very first time I was allowed to walk to the A&P by myself to get the turkey, the cheese, and the apple juice. I got it. Was walking back. I was maybe on my corner, was robbed by a 15-year-old kid with the turkey, the cheese, the bag was taken. I was pushed to the floor, and the bag was taken.
You're kidding me.
The number one time my mother...
First time you got assaulted and robbed of all your meats.
My mother she's like, it's one of those things where it's like 15 minutes, you need to be back here. If not, I'm going... Like 10, she was panicking. I come back bleeding from my elbow. She's like, what happened? I said, I got robbed. The first time I was not allowed under her supervision to leave the house alone and do that until I was 13 years old.
Yeah, you didn't see a supermarket for years after that.
No, my father would let me go crazy. He jacked me up off Mountain Dew and let me run around. But my mother would not till I was 13, maybe 14. What's up, everybody? I'm back on the road doing stand-up, the Chrissy Chaos stand-up tour. Go to chrisdcomedy.com for tickets. chrisdcomedy.com for tickets. Yes. Hey, babe.
For me, in my neighborhood, the A&P was dead smack in the center of my neighborhood. So it was king. Like, no offense to King Cullen, but A&P was king when I was little. I will tell you, they've dropped off. So about 5 years ago, my dad, who at this point was like 70 at this point, went into an A&P during the holidays. He should know better. Our same neighborhood A&P. Get this, ready?
Right.
Some guy in there. Hey, babe.
Earmuffs, babe.
Earmuffs.
My kid's in the background.
Some jerk or something. My dad was online and he like rammed into his cart or something. It was like a literal movie, like a thing you see in like a movies from bullies or something.
Right.
Like he was like bullying a lady and mouthing off to a lady, and then he like hit my dad's cart. He's like, move, because you know how like people are online, but people still don't go through.
Yes. And
he just slammed into my dad's cart. And he's like, move, and my dad was like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
I'm
what's
just
going
online.
on?
I'll move out of your way if you ask me. And he immediately got in my dad's face. My dad's 70. This was like a younger guy, like I don't know, maybe like younger, but like maybe 50. I don't know what, but way younger than my dad.
But in fairness to your dad at 70 years old is most dads at 45 years old. I mean, your dad between the apple cider vinegar, between all his regiments, he's not your average 70-year-old.
Yeah, I went to his house the other day and he was working out.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
Like,
your dad's in better shape than the both of us. I think that's fair to say. Would you say that's fair?
I tell you, I walked in there. He was on that. What's that one with Chuck Norris where you pull your own body weight?
Bowflex?
Not the Bowflex, like the one where you pull your own body weight. Man, we just do promotion on this show. It's the
we're
one
the podcast.
Like,
we have no promo codes because these companies are not affiliated with us, but we just like to give them free stuff.
Total Gym.
Yeah,
my dad's on that thing in his garage, going up and down.
But do you think, honestly, like, could we get to a point where maybe we film this and do this? We'll see. We'll see what the fans want. Where we could go to a track and place bets and see if your dad could actually run more laps than we could. He might be able to run more. Can he run? Does he have knee issues?
He can't run. He's a back issue. He can't run.
Well, whatever he can do.
He's got straight up sciatica.
He could do more total body reps or lift more weight than us. It might be possible.
I mean,
it's possible. I saw him on the cruise.
He
actually, no, I didn't see him on the cruise, which is wild.
Yeah, back in the day, he used to be in the gym every single day. But anyway, he's not looking for any trouble. This guy literally got in his face. It was I think Christmas Eve. Right. It was Christmas Eve. Jesus. He took a quick run to get like nog or something like that.
Yeah.
And we sent him there, and then all of a sudden, my dad came back. He goes, "I got into a fight at the A&P," but my dad was like, he was like almost like not in shock, but he was like, "I can't believe that just happened." So the guy got in his face and went right up to my dad and grabbed him. He like physically.
I hate this guy.
Physically grabbed my dad, and my dad was like, "Whoa!" Like didn't know what to do, and then my dad went to grab him back. And they turned and they fell on the ground. And
in the middle of the A&P on Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve, A&P, Christmas Eve day, A&P packed. People everywhere. Guy slams into a woman, yells out, slams into my dad. I don't know what was going on in his life. Grabs my dad, gets in his face, grabs him, they fall. My dad ends up falling to the ground, but happens to fall on top of him, sits up, has full, I don't know however you call it. He's on top of him. I guess full control, full guard on him, and just gives him a punch in the face.
That's it.
Just punches him right in the face. And the guy was like, and I think he started even bleeding a little bit, and then people pulled them off and separated him, and the guy's like, that's it. He's like, who do you think you are? I'm calling the cops. On my dad. And my dad was like, I just left.
Yeah. So what are you going to do?
My dad was like, let me just leave. So he just left. And he was like shaking up. He's like, got into a fist fight at 70.
Your 70-year-old father just comes in and casually says, I got into a fight at the A&P.
Just got into a fist fight, fell on top of the guy, punched him in the face, and I basically like almost knocked him out. He's like, instinct took over. Not that my dad, whatever. And then they grabbed me, and people were like, what are you doing? You punched that guy. And he's like, he attacked me and threw me to the ground.
Yeah, like what's
So my dad just left. But anyway, my point is A&P, I don't know about them anymore.
I don't know about them at all. Yeah. So A&P, you were a sponsor until a few minutes ago.
Listen, we can bring you in. We can take you out. Don't mess it. We can mention it, and then we could also just put you down right away, because last time you went to the A&P, you got mugged, and last time my dad went to the A&P, he got assaulted.
Mugged. I know, it's got assaulted. And it's like, let me be honest with you. The thing is with a guy like Sal's dad, is, 70 years old. You don't want to mess with old people, though. Do you ever hear the story about, I think it was American tourists. They were on a tour bus in, I want to say it was like Venezuela or Colombia. They're on a tour bus, just, like an old folks thing. 70-year-old people go on these trips or whatever. A guy comes on the bus, a native or whatever, comes on the bus to rob them. to rob everybody on the bus. It was a scheme that was going on. They were robbing elderly people. So they go on to rob to old people to rob the bus. Yeah, let's see if we can find it. Rob the bus. And one of the guys who was like with his wife, they put a gun to his head. He's 75 years old. He's in with him and his wife. He happened to be he was like a World War II veteran, like Marine, crazy guy. Nobody knew, somehow wrestles the gun out of this 30-year-old robber's hands on the middle of the bus in front of everyone, puts him in a headlock, breaks his collarbone. His collarbone goes into his heart, kills him dead on the spot. Just kills. And the guy was like literally like some 70-year-old guy they were going to take pictures of like waterfalls, and maybe it was Peru.
You're shitting me.
Fucking tourist. Yeah. The collarbone break goes directly into his heart, and that's it. So like that's what happens sometimes with like these older guys.
Like a Steven Seagal move.
Yeah.
Wow, collarbone. I never heard.
Oh, here we go. Ex-Marine 70 kills tour thug.
Holy
a 70-year-old Marine killed a mugger with his bare hands after a tour bus of U.S. senior citizens held up in the Costa Rican city of Limon.
Could you imagine?
Yeah, look at this. Wait, could you go scroll up a little bit? Yeah, look, the retiree squeezed a 20-year-old mugger in a headlock.
20!
Broke his clavicle and choked him.
Oh my God!
The group then drove the unconscious mugger to a local Red Cross clinic.
Anywhere he died. That's you know what I mean? For all you 20-year-olds watching that thinking of getting into in the crime life.
And then it says the thief's two other accomplices who were armed fled as the other retirees on the bus started defending themselves. So they started defending themselves.
It was an uproar. It was a senior citizen coup.
Look at this shit. And they were in their right to defend themselves. Local police chief Luis Hernandez said no one would be charged in the incident.
Just old people just beating the shit out of young people.
They were on a stopover from a Carnival cruise. 12 tourists involved. Could you imagine? 12 senior citizens get up and they beat the shit. They killed one of these kids.
Just what I would give to see it. Just to see just old people just beating up young people.
Yeah. How freaking ridiculous is that?
You know, it's a weird thing. You ever see like old people? You ever see an old person, like an older person? Like let's say that they have white hair at least.
Okay.
You ever see a person with white hair run? It's very seldom.
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
It's
you
really.
Never see a tall older person. You never really see a tall 6'6" old guy.
You're right.
You ever think about that? What happens to people who are tall?
I don't think I've ever seen.
I've never seen somebody 6'5" or over, and I've never seen a tall old man or woman.
I've never seen someone of substantial height as a senior citizen.
It's bizarre.
I know they shrink, but they don't shrink. I know, but I know they
6'8",
shrink.
you're not gonna.
Yeah, you're not gonna shrink to 5'8". You're not.
What
shrinking
happens
a foot.
to tall old people?
I'm not joking with you. I've never seen a tall man or tall old woman. Not once in my life have I ever seen anyone. No. I want to say it's rare to see them run. Imagine you see a tall old woman running. That's like seeing a unicorn.
What does it say? Just being tall in itself is not common. Well, I mean, it is. As you get older, maybe because your body's taller.
What about old NBA players?
Yeah, what happens to them? They just don't maybe they don't live
I've seen old black men.
Tall black men.
I've
seen old black men, period.
But I guess I've never seen like a really, when I'm saying, well, then again, I'm not really saying tall. I'm saying like retired NBA guys you see all the time. He's 50, 60 years old. I'm talking about a 6'8", white-haired, old Caucasian man that's 90 years old. Never seen it.
Well, it says he's homeless pimp has just found the article that says, do tall guys die younger? There is a link between height and heart attack, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's like.
I guess that's what it is.
Well, those big guys like the Andre the Giant people, they just can't.
So it's just one of those things where it's like,
Yeah, but it can't. Wait. Hold on. We've been around a long time. We've seen a lot of people. We live in a metropolitan city.
Yeah.
We see a lot of people. There's a lot of turnover. They might die young as a matter of generality, but I've still never seen. I've never looked up and seen like a fragile white-haired old man that was like 6'7", 6'8", 6'5".
They're only small.
6'4".
I'm telling you, I don't think I've seen an older person, man or woman, over 75 with gray hair, taller than 6'1". I think in my life I've never seen one.
Me neither. And forget a tall old woman.
Yeah. Oh no. Forget. I've actually never seen a taller. I've never seen an old woman. Taller than 5'6". I would say 5. I've never seen like a taller old woman that's even 5'8" or 5'9".
Yeah,
they're always noticeably short and small.
Yeah, and I've never seen an old person run.
Here we go. Men can gradually lose an inch between the ages of 30 to 70, and women can lose about 2 inches. After the age of 80, it's possible for both men and women to lose another inch.
Okay, so if you got a 6'8", I'm still going to see him at 6'5", then.
Yeah, so it just seems like they don't make it. If you're that tall, you're just not going to make it to old age.
Oh my God!
It's sad.
If you're an old listener and you're tall, can you send us? Do we have an email address yet?
Yeah. Well, I'd like to.
Please reach out. Yeah, we're gonna make one of those soon. Maybe we'll remember next time.
Did we talk about my grandma's 100th birthday?
No
on an episode yet?
No.
Did we ever say that? So my grandmother.
Yes, I have OCD. I had to do this. Ready?
Do it, yeah.
This is me. This is how crazy I am.
Yeah.
Okay. We ever talk about this? I can't have anything pointing at me.
Can't have anything pointing at
like
you?
that if I catch it and it's annoying me, like if you had a straw sticking out of your drink,
okay,
or you were sitting across from me at a table and your fork was like sloped up, pointing at me this way,
okay,
or like if someone's on the subway and they open a newspaper next to me and like the tip of their paper is like dangling right here, like I have OCD with points, so literally this point is in the whole time we're talking. You might even go back and look at it. I'm like looking at it like this because it starts to fester in my mind. I'm trying to get hypnotized to have it not happen.
So wait, so let me just do that. So are we good now?
Done.
Done. Okay.
Can you believe that?
Yeah, done.
Can you believe?
Yeah.
Can you believe the mental prison?
That's it.
That I go through.
Yeah.
That's a real thing that's happened my entire life.
I now have that point facing dead right at my 5-year-old daughter.
I used to be so bad. Like sometimes when I get overstimulated, I think I have ADHD and that's part of it.
Right.
When I get overstimulated, I used to sleep. I told you.
Baby, can you turn it down and go sit over there? Go sit over there, baby, because we're live on the show now.
So, no, so I,
No, Delilah, you really got to go over there because it's too loud. No, baby, I'm serious. It's too loud. Go sit over there. We're not kidding around. My daughter's just smiling, laughing, chewing gum in our faces.
I tell you, the speakers on these new iPads are
Yeah, I mean, what's going on? Baby, come on, I don't have to go over there and take it over. Can you go sit over there and turn it down? We might just have to do the podcast with this on the background because I'm just not going to be able to get her shut up.
She walked over there. She didn't lower it.
Baby, can you please
no.
lower
What I'm saying to you is she'll meet you halfway. That's about it. You're not.
Is it
You're really not the
getting
boss.
picked up? Baby, you got to really shut it down. Baby, you got to turn it down. Now she's covering her ears so she can't hear me.
Is it bad that I'm laughing? Maybe I'm encouraging her.
No. Here, you know what? Let me turn it down. Let me
She's
just
like a
turn it
little
down.
Lucia Ball. So
Okay.
So I had a studio apartment. I used to sleep on a couch. There. My point is, it's just that like I wasn't in a bedroom, so it's like right in like my main living spaces where I slept.
Right.
So sometimes when I was like overstimulated and the points would bother me, this is wild, dude. I would have to get up in order to like be able to sit on the couch or go to bed. I would have to get up and go turn any single point in the whole room that was facing toward me. I had to either turn it so that it was parallel to me, or as a quick fix, sometimes I would take a sheet and just throw it over like my console and everything so it would cover everything at once so points wouldn't bother me.
That's crazy. So if you...
I'm not even exaggerating. Everyone in my family knows it.
You have no idea where it came from?
I start getting like I don't know how to explain to you, but if you don't have a thing, like an OCD thing, it's OCD.
Right.
But if you have an OCD thing and it's bothering you and it's not addressed, it drives you. It physically manifests itself in you.
So
I start getting like tense, my neck, my back. Like I start like literally getting uncomfortable, like to the point where it's like.
So if I was like interrogating you and I literally could just put this like that, and as the time goes on, you tell me exactly what I need to know. Like right now, this is making you uncomfortable. It's like pointing a loaded gun at you.
It is similar to that.
It's wild.
It is similar to that. Yeah.
It's wild. Yeah, you can see in his eyes.
So
He's starting to
sometimes
flinch around.
I swear to God, I have techniques, right? Sometimes I just do this. When someone's there, I do this. Because as long as the point is folded in, now that won't bother me at all.
Are there types of pillows or types of things you can get where you specifically look on things that have no points? Like this table doesn't have a point, or this is still what?
That won't bother me. It's a rounded edge.
It's a rounded edge.
Yeah.
That was going to be my point. Is at what point do you consider it a point that it affects you?
Yeah, like sometimes, like even the plants, sometimes like hanging off like that, like anything near my eyes, really,
Can't do it.
pointing toward me.
Can't do it.
It's wild. It's crazy. But here we are talking, right? And we're talking about this 7-year-old thing, and the whole time in the back of my mind, I'm going, the point. I don't want to make a thing of it, but you know what it is? Sometimes I don't want to make a thing of it, so I would just lean over and turn your pillow for you.
Yeah.
But if I don't address that, I look like a psychopath.
Yeah, so you have to be like, hey, this is what I'm doing.
And then I got to make a big to-do out of it and go, it's not you, it's me. I have a thing with points, and then people go, what about the points?
Listen.
And I have to tell these people, and everyone just thinks I'm a lunatic.
At any point,
Yeah.
if there's a point on my body or my person that's bothering you, you tell me. Same thing with my daughter.
Yeah.
You tell her. She won't listen, but so So wait, so we were talking about, but we were getting backtracked because the first thing we were talking about was Trader Joe's, about how you had a binge fest last night.
Yeah, well, because Trader Joe's, because not to plug another market,
Right.
but Trader Joe's just outdoes everybody else now.
They do.
I think Trader Joe's might have overtaken Wegmans for me, and that doesn't mean Wegmans you can't.
Which is insane.
My loyalty be back.
If you know Sal, what he just said is monumental. That anything to overtake Wegmans is big.
It's big,
Yeah.
but Wegmans isn't here.
Right.
On where I am, so it's like nothing against Wegmans, but Trader Joe's is they do their version of like every other food. Like they'll have their version of waffles, their version of ice cream. It's better than the name brands, I believe.
Right.
My point is,
It's healthier too, right?
It is. They just have good stuff. And I went yesterday, so last night when I got home, I was fully Trader Joe's stocked.
Now, does Trader Joe's deliver, or do we have to always physically go to the store to get Trader Joe's? Even during a pandemic, will they deliver?
I think that Trader Joe's actually, as much as I love them, needs to get their head out of their asses and start delivering. No, they have those third-party food services though that will go. You know that they get your groceries for you. They're like personal shoppers. There's like an app, so you could put in your whole list, and like a third party, like a person, almost like an Uber, will go grocery shopping for you. You know,
bring it right to your house.
Blew my balls off when I found this out. You know how I found out?
How?
We were filming in a supermarket, and we went up to someone and like, oh, I'm not shopping for myself. I'm personally shopping for someone else. And we're like, what are you talking about? And they're like, there's an app. Like, so you could do that. You go grocery shopping for someone else, and then you deliver it to their home. It's a genius idea.
That's a genius idea.
So I guess I take back what I said about Trader Joe's, because maybe there's not a market for it. Maybe there's not because people are already doing it.
They're already doing it. Yeah, but I guess
See?
Yeah, here we go.
Groceries
Let's just shout out the app. It's called Instacart.
Instacart.
Why not? Not a sponsor.
We need to make a list of every person we name drop and sponsor, and if they do not get back to us, I mean, in like 10 episodes, we will just turn the tables on them.
That's it, because I mean the free publicity we're giving you is monumental.
Yeah, Instacart, people love it.
So
I use that too.
So wait, so we were talking about before.
Ate like crap. You had to eat a little bit now too, because
I had to, because last night, it was just one of those nights where this happened. You go meet. We were walking. We were walking around Forest Hills, Queens, with my friends from home. And we started drinking.
Had a bunch of white wine spritzers.
Seriously, what happened was there was 6 guys. We sit down at a table. One of my friends says, "Oh, this is where Son of Sam killed a couple of people." We're like, random but cool. And then the waitress comes over. He's like, "What can I get you boys to drink? You want some beers?" And then one of my friends like, "Why don't we start with some strawberry margaritas?" So we were like, "Let's have
famous last words.
Let's have a strawberry margarita. It's funny. We're taking pics, strawberry margaritas." She comes back. Let's do a second round. By the second strawberry margarita, we're all smashed. So we're all smashed. We start eating food, drinking more. Go back to one of their apartments. So they bring the weed out, which, as you know, I'm not a big weed guy.
No, you're not.
Brings the weed out. Before I know it, it's 7:30 this morning. I'm asleep on their couch. I have to wake up. I don't know where the hell I am. I'm wearing the same clothes. I've wearing the same clothes for 24 hours. And I just, right now, it's one of those things. You just made me an espresso, which, thank you.
Yeah.
Starting to finally kick in. But I have a hangover, and I smoked weed.
Yeah, that's not like you at all. And I know how you're feeling, and that's why we ordered a big lunch.
Yeah, a big lunch.
Yeah, huge.
Yeah, which is, I got a chicken. Here's what I'm going to tell you guys what we got. But we got pizza, we got lobster mac and cheese, we got chicken fingers. I got a chicken francesi wrap, but whole wheat.
Whole wheat is what
whole
you did.
wheat, because
you made the order.
There
correct.
needs to be some responsibility on calorie intake. I'm also up for a job where I may be on TV, so I am going whole wheat.
Exactly that.
Yeah.
Exactly that. I'm trying to lose a little weight too. I got Murray's wedding coming up.
Right.
And I got to fit into a tux. I just found that out.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to just back off a little bit. But last night was, if you would ever see, when you're home alone and you don't think anything of it, but I'm thinking back to last night.
Okay.
If there was a video feed on me,
it was bad.
And you saw like the spread I put on the coffee table while I watched the Files of Police Squad.
Yeah. Can you take us through? What was on it?
Okay, last night?
Yeah, I'd like to know. Yeah.
Okay. I had gluten-free pretzels.
Okay.
I had peanut M&Ms.
Okay.
I had buffalo chicken dip.
Buffalo chicken dip?
Yes.
You find the most outrageous foods that sound so fantastic that I've never heard of, but every time I come to your house, I find a new food that I go and order.
And I'm happy that happens for you.
I've never heard of buffalo chicken dip, and then it's just immediately
You know what? I didn't hear of it either until I went to Trader Joe's.
I got to be honest with you, Sal. 4 times I've come here.
Yeah.
4 times when I'm leaving your parking lot, I'm on Amazon waiting at the light, ordering the foods that I just saw on your cover.
I love this.
That's what it is.
If this is what I could do for you, then I'm fulfilling my role as a
Saratoga
friend.
peanut butter. I clean. Hey, babe. Sorry.
Hey, babe.
Sorry.
Did you get it?
Yeah, I was at the light, at the same light. I'm pumping stuff
I was
on
about
Amazon.
to say, by the way, I haven't heard from Saratoga yet, but the episode wasn't released yet.
Wasn't released yet. Once it's out, just know I cleaned out and I'm waiting. It's en route.
Yeah. So they had that, and then I also had they have a really great salsa dip with olives. Whoa. Dynamite.
Yeah.
I had that with some Tostitos.
Can't eat olives. My cousin that I grew up with used to put olives, 5 olives on each finger, so 10 olive fingers, and dip them all in mayonnaise and eat them. And one time she got so sick she started throwing up, and olive came shot out of her nose and landed on my knee. So I can't eat olives ever again in my life. I still, to this day, just thinking about that, I'm getting queasy.
I got to tell you something. I love olives, and just hearing that story makes you want to wait on olives.
Dipped them in mayo, and she puked one out of her nose once, and it landed on my kneecap.
Dip it in
That's just how
mayo. Okay, mayo's a weird food, right?
Very
mayo
weird.
has superpowers because mayo. If I'm in the mood for mayo, the right amount on the right sandwich, pass that mayo.
Right.
I love it.
Love it.
But if you say mayo in the wrong context or add mayo to the wrong thing,
it's bad.
It could literally make me dry heave to the point where I might throw up, just like you just said.
Right.
Why does mayo have that power? What other food has that power?
Well, let's say well, I think the only way to answer it is to go deep, take a deeper dive into what mayo actually is. And what it is it's made of oil, egg yolks, lemon juice, or vinegar, and seasonings.
Which, by the way, all those things individually, zero issue with any of them. Zero. Lemon, egg yolks, fine. Vinegar, fine.
Fine. Seasonings,
oil, seasoning. But I think what ends up happening is that consistency.
Yeah,
I think is what happens.
I'm a big time. I have
so many people are mayo adverse.
I do a very weird thing.
Pimp, you don't like mayo on anything, not even a time or place.
What do you put in tuna sandwiches? You don't eat.
You avoid tuna on account of mayo. Oh, so we hit it. You're the perfect demographic.
Yeah.
You avoid mayo at all costs. There was my neighbor when I was young used to have mayo sandwiches. Yes, on potato rolls. You know that I love cereal?
Yes.
It's one of my top 3 foods.
Right.
And I couldn't eat it. I had to abandon cereal because most cereal is terrible for you.
Right.
It's just sugar, no matter what you think. It just nets out to sugar. So I stopped, but we got a sponsor on board. I tried it, and cereal is back for me.
It's got to be Magic Spoon.
Magic Spoon.
Everybody talks about Magic Spoon.
Yes.
I mean, everybody literally, because it's got 13 grams of protein, 13 to 14 grams of protein, only 4 net grams of carbs, and it's only 140 calories a serving.
You have a stroke. Just
I'm
do you
sorry.
smell toast?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Listen to me. Here's the part, though.
I lost my mind because I got excited.
It's zero sugar, though.
Zero sugar.
It's zero sugar. So, and they have like chocolate. They have frosted. They have fruity.
Cocoa with peanut butter, which they say tastes exactly like a peanut butter cup.
It is, like, you know how you like have healthy cereal and taste like, oh, this doesn't taste right?
Right.
Somehow they made this cereal taste like actual cereal again.
Yeah.
And then you could just eat it and it's not bad for you. It's like, it's ridiculous. I've been pounding boxes of this stuff. I probably cancel out the health benefits by eating a sleeve of 4 boxes of Magic Spoon every time I eat it.
Well, listen, if you go to magicspoon.com/heybabe, you get a variety pack and you get $5 off your order. But here's what you got to do. You got to go to magicspoon.com/heybabe, but also put in the promo code heybabe. Don't forget to put in the promo code heybabe after going to magicspoon.com. Heybabe. Sorry. I'm just going to let Sal do it. I love Magic Spoon.
Remember, get your next delicious bowl of guilt-free cereal at magicspoon.com/heybabe and use the promo code heybabe to save $5 off. Chris, can you please tell me if you know of any place that I can go if I want to get a little bit of discreet counseling?
Off the top of my head, the number one place that I'm thinking of is betterhelp.com.
Well, what's that? I got to go to some office?
No.
What's that? I got to pay outrageous prices?
Nope.
Well, I got to wait 2 weeks to start it?
Nope. You can do it from the comfort of your own home. Get a discreet, licensed counselor to hear whatever it is you want to talk about for a great price. If you put in the promo code HeyBabe, you actually get 10% off the first month.
10% off American.
Go to 10%. As far as I know, I was told 10% American money wherever you could be in Islamabad, Pakistan.
Right.
You're still going to get off 10% American for the first month by going to BetterHelp, not health, BetterHelp, HELP.com. Promo code HeyBabe, HEYBABE, 10% off the first month. It's the right thing to do.
I can't believe I asked you that because you had all the information I needed.
Sal, a lot of times I'll see you doing things and I'll say, why didn't you just ask me?
Yeah.
And I'm happy that on the podcast, you decided to ask me.
Remember that time I was just putting a straw into an orange and you were like, you should just pour yourself a glass of juice?
Yes.
I should defer to you more often.
Where do you think, because like I was just like you, how many times did you see me putting the straw into the orange?
A lot.
How did I learn to start drinking orange juice? BetterHelp.com. BetterHelp.com is where I learned that you don't have to do that. It's just in the commercial do they stick the straw in the orange juice.
You know what? It makes sense because we could all use
BetterHelp.com
/HeyBabe for 10% off.
Who doesn't want 10% off the first month of anything?
I want 10% off everything. They're getting me spoiled.
Yeah.
BetterHelp is getting me spoiled.
Yeah.
I storm into a room now. The first thing I say is, I want 10% off.
I want 10%.
I don't care where I am.
Yeah. If they come back to this show and they want to advertise and say, we love your fans so much, they've been supporting BetterHelp.com /HeyBabe so much, we want to give you 20% off, I'm going to say, no, it's going to stay at 10.
That's right. 10% just feels right. We're not trying to take advantage.
It just feels right. BetterHelp.com /HeyBabe. The only thing I would say I avoid at all costs, and it's just because I can't wrap my head around eating something from that animal, even though I know it's crazy because it's like, what's the difference between this animal and a cow? Veal is one. Yeah. Goat cheese.
Yeah.
I can't eat goat cheese or anything from a goat. And I've never had veal. I told you what I've never had.
Yeah, go.
Veal chop, pork chop, and goat cheese. Never had that. Never seen The Godfather. I told you that.
Yeah. That's. I mean, one day, one podcast is going to be dedicated to all those things.
Yeah.
That's what we should do. We should schedule a special one
where
we watch The Godfather live, and you eat a goat cheese crusted pork chop.
That's what we'll do.
Yeah. Goat cheese. Like I don't mind goat cheese because I don't think of it as like I'm eating goat, but I guess I am.
But we are.
But like it's not like you're eating like a goat burger or anything.
Any type of cheese or milk. I mean, it's just coming from the cow. Have you ever seen? This is going to be. Have you ever seen what milk looks like before they put the white coloring in it?
Before they put white color.
Before they color it. I mean, you know what?
Before they pasteurize it.
Isn't
it white when it shoots out?
No, it is not, my friend. It's disgusting. It's almost like because we're going to eat, we probably shouldn't look at it. But it's brutal what comes out of that cow's body.
I mean, thank God I switched off of regular milk about 7 years ago.
Yeah.
I only do almond and
I do almond.
And oat.
I do almond. I usually go with Oatly or Almond Breeze, whichever one wants to be a sponsor.
Let me tell you something. Right now, I love Blue Diamond. Blue Diamond is my absolute jam for when it comes to. I've tried everyone. I've tried Silk. I've tried them all.
Yeah.
But this is so funny that we just literally talk about name brands. But
this is what it is.
But Blue Diamond has the right amount. It's not too harsh on the almond taste.
Right.
And I love their unsweetened. It's 30 calories for an 8-ounce glass.
Yeah.
And I just really think you can't get hurt. You can't
know
get
what
hurt.
I've been drinking lately? Coconut milk. I'm going. It's wild to drink the coconut milk, and they have now half almond, half coconut.
I have had it.
Yeah,
I've had it.
It's interesting.
I got to be in the mood.
Yeah. I got to be in the mood. Why don't we show?
That is milk right there.
You were telling me it's disgusting. It's like clumps of stuff and blood. It's gross.
Oh, it's yellow.
It's like piss and infected stuff. It's
gross.
It looks
like yellow cheese and it looks like, what is that? It looks like cheese and piss.
It's gross. I want to see the
who's the first person to milk a cow and be like,
I don't know.
You know, they did think that the others are just hanging. And it was one person, you know that, right? Like even if in many different places people figured it out without communicating, still at one point it was one person. That always fascinates me too because every single thing you look at, think of, say, every word you say was said first by one person.
Right.
Every person, someone put a plant in a pot for the first time.
Right.
Someone framed a painting for the first time.
Right.
Someone made a couch for the first time. I mean, they might have made it right, but it was always a first.
One of those, and
it blows my mind. Who's the first person to just like start pulling on the cow?
I know, or you have to be a sick maniac to even think about that. But like this animal,
back
I'm
then
just
there
going to
was
start
nothing
sucking
to do.
its
Think
tits.
about it. There was no internet.
Nothing.
There's no internet back then. There was no clothes.
Speaking of animals, you told me you had a video of an octopus walking on the beach that you said actually this video gives him chills on his spine. I haven't seen it yet.
I played it for Pimp because I wanted to pull it up for you right before. All the hair on my arms.
The heart's going up in his arms again.
All the hair on my arms raised up. I saw it on World Star.
World Star.
World Star. But I saw it. Look, okay, this is on the beach. An octopus running on the beach.
Right now, it just looks like, okay, he's going to press play, and, it's just
I'm speechless.
Let's see it. Okay.
I mean, what?
What the hell is that?
Are you kidding me? You imagine you saw that coming toward you? It looks like an alien. It looks like a full-on alien.
That's humongous.
I mean, look at the way it moves.
It does look, but it's one of those things.
And look at the brain, like the big.
That's its brain, right?
Head thing.
I mean, it looks like fresh calamari. What's better than calamari?
That's actually is that what they cut up into
That's
the
calamari.
rings?
Yeah.
But not that big.
That's one of the biggest octopus I've ever seen.
That thing has to be as big as a person, right?
Yeah, that's humongous, and it's got a big. And it's like, I don't even know what they eat. I know nothing about the ocean.
I know nothing. It's like alien-like to me. I do know this, though. I think we might have spoken about this. But like dolphins, I think octopus, they say, might be one of the most sentient, smartest creatures on the planet.
Really?
Yes. And people, look at these. Look at that
Look
thing.
at these giant octopus squid.
God. That is, without a doubt, it's as foreign as dinosaurs. Like, that is, there's nothing, I don't think there's anything alive on our Earth right now.
Oh, my God.
Is that a person being attacked by an octopus?
Really? Diver fighting off giant octopus. Oh my God.
Get
in the Sea of Japan.
Get out of here.
Let's see.
Man.
Look at this. Look, it's wrapping itself around them.
This is just a guy scuba diving with a class.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah, that's what I want. I pay $129.99. I get a 15-minute refresher course, and then I get attacked by a puss 30 feet down. I mean, by the way, you can't go that far in a class. There's like that looks to me like a class because there's people following each other.
Look at it, it's stuck to his flipper.
You go 30 feet down, 40 feet down. You mean to tell me I'm on vacation with my family? Then it completely camouflages into the rock.
Into the rock.
Turns the color of the rock.
Yeah. Well, that's what octopus can do. They turn the color of the thing that they're on. What is weird?
Can you imagine we go scuba diving and you get just attacked by an octopus?
I can't.
Also, how do you maintain your composure?
Yeah.
What do you do? What do you do down there?
I have
the
no
second
idea.
that thing comes out of your mouth, you're up shit's creek without a paddle, my friend.
Yeah.
Also, you can't just shoot back up because you have to depressurize as you go up. I've scuba dived twice. I'm not an expert. I might be saying things out of turn.
Two things I'm never going to do. I don't care. I'll never do them. Scuba dive, and I'm never getting in a hot air balloon. I'll never do that ever in my
Neither will
life. I'll never get in a hot air balloon. I don't care about what it looks like from up there. I don't want to do it ever in my life. And my daughter's not allowed to do that or date guys on motorcycles.
Yeah. I agree. I would never do either of those things. I never did a guy on a motorcycle. I'd never take a hot air balloon, and I would never.
Yeah.
Well, scuba diving, I did.
You did.
I may do it again, but I am now second guessing.
Oh, I got the point at you.
Eating
I'm sorry.
octopus. I didn't notice. It's only
Yeah.
if I notice.
Yeah.
This guy's in, so you're pretty safe.
Yeah.
People, because there's a debate on whether we should be eating octopus.
Octopus, yeah. Now, I have an aunt, very, she wasn't trying to be funny at all. She would just do this. She didn't understand. She would just, didn't realize what she was saying. She would be like, anytime she would say octopus, she would octopusy. She would just say, oh, the octopusy and the, she said it, not like you're saying octopus that much in conversation, but multiple times. I remember it being like, oh, the octopusy in the ocean.
Which was a James Bond movie.
Octopussy?
Yeah.
James Bond Octopussy?
I believe it was. Don't quote me on it. And I don't, by the by, don't know why it was named that. I think maybe it was
James Bond Octopussy cast. Maybe my aunt was in
Why
this.
was it called Octopussy? Was it because, was that one of the names of the agents?
Agent Octopussy? And his associate wealthy Afghan prince Kamal Khan and his associate Octopussy and the discovery of the plot to form disarmament in Western Europe with the use of a nuclear weapon. So that's what it's about.
Yeah. So
I love how movie makers you ever seen that movie or heard that title Abraham Lincoln Vampire Slayer?
Yes.
It's like that sounds like a movie that the guy just was fed up. He's right in his apartment and said, "You know what? This. Hey babe, I'm gonna go to the studio tomorrow. I got a meeting. How about Abraham Lincoln slaying vampires? What do you guys think? Take it or leave it. I don't give a shit. I'm out of this town." And they're like, "We love it."
Yeah, because I got to be honest, that kind of you say that to me, I instantly I have to watch this.
Yeah, Abraham Lincoln who's slaying vampires. What can you do?
Unbelievable.
What can you do?
But that octopus, like, what do you think? You eat octopus?
I eat octopus. I eat calamari.
Yeah.
Which I've heard if you go to the wrong place and they don't have an imitation calamari is actually pig anus. That's what I've heard. So that's something to think about.
Who's doing that to people?
I don't know.
Oh, is it?
I don't know.
In which type of? You know what? You know what? Whatever it is.
Whatever it is.
Some
cuisines. You guys Google it. Yeah. Some places they do pig anus as calamari.
So is that head? Is the octopus head when when it's a squid? When it's a calamari, is it just a baby? It's not a baby. It's in the octopus family.
What are you talking about?
Calamari is not. It's squid. Squid is a type of octopus. Is octopus a type of squid or squid a type of octopus? Or is it the exact same thing?
I'm thinking that they're interchangeable. I'm thinking octopus is a squid, but I have no idea.
Then they would say you're eating octopus.
There we go. Tentacles are edible and often included on a plate of fried calamari. The body is the prime section of meat and can be stuffed whole, cut into flat pieces, or sliced crosswise into rings.
Yeah, so that head is the thing that they dice into rings.
Interesting.
I think. But like,
what about the ones with
what about what's in
there?
But don't they have a big brain in there? So they just shoot the brain out?
Brain, or it's got a nutsack. I don't know what it is. It's either its head or its balls.
I used to never eat the tentacles when I ate calamari, only the rings, because the rings just feel like you could be eating anything.
It could be anything.
But sometimes you see the little suction cups on the calamari.
Yeah.
And I still to this day, depending on how hungry I am, will pass. I've been known to say, can I have calamari only rings?
Really?
Sometimes they oblige.
Interesting. I have a friend who's from the country of Spain. She eats calamari sandwiches. She said that's a big thing in Spain.
Really?
Calamari sandwich. She goes, well, that's what we eat. We'll have calamari sandwich. It's the thing to do in Spain. Boom, there you go. Calamari sandwich. She said she eats them all the time. Puts mustard on it. Yep.
What mustard?
Yep. She said it's the best. That's what they do.
Look, I mean, it tastes good, but it's fried up with some sauce. I mean, I guess like throw on a piece of garlic bread. Why not?
Well, I was talking about before my late great grandmother who loved calamari. She died on her. It's okay. So here's the thing. When you turn 100, you get a card from the president. From the president of the United States, sends you a birthday card saying, you're a centenarian. Happy birthday to 100.
Are you serious?
Yeah. She got a card from Ronald Reagan on her 99th birthday because he messed up. And she liked Ronald Reagan. She had thought he was good for the country. And then he sent her a card on her 99th birthday. Instead of her 100, got the years wrong. She said, I hate Ronald Reagan. And then she said, this is crazy what I'm about to tell you. It was an upcoming election. She said, Ronald Reagan wins its election. It's the only thing that can kill me. She said, Ronald Reagan wins. Ronald Reagan wins in 1984. I think it was 84. Whatever year Ronald Reagan won his final term. My grandmother died the day after her 100th birthday. She turned 100.
You're kidding me.
Ronald Reagan was elected.
She held out.
She turned 100, died.
She died on...
Hand to God.
She died on 101 day?
They went to go...
100 years in one day?
What do you think?
Trick question.
Go ahead.
I don't think.
More than 50 million men in the United States. You know what they suffer from? I'm going to give you the initials. MPB.
P. B.
Yep.
Michael. Peanut butter.
Nope.
Okay.
Male pattern baldness.
Okay. Same.
Male pattern baldness.
Close.
And guess what?
Yeah.
There's actually this morning I woke up. First thing I said to my mother slept over. First thing I said to her, I said, "Ma, there's got to be at least 5 FDA recommended products for male pattern baldness." She said, "I would say more than that, honey." Guess what? Only 2. There are only 2 FDA-approved medications that prevent hair loss.
And you know what one of them is?
Keeps.
Keeps.
No, that's not the medication. Keeps offers both of the 2 FDA-approved medications.
What?
Yeah, you ruined the whole thing.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, we're going to keep going.
You're going to keep this in?
Keeps.
You're going to keep this in?
We're going to keep this in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Keeps, convenient virtual doctor consultations and medications delivered straight to your door every 3 months. You don't have to leave your home.
You don't have to leave your home. Guess what?
What?
You know what? Whenever this episode comes out, it's probably going to come out somewhere soon, around Easter time.
Yeah.
Guess what, baby?
What?
You're not getting Peeps this year. You're getting Keeps. That's what you get. And guess what you got to do? All you got to do, if you're ready to take action and prevent hair loss now, all you got to do is go to Keeps, KEEPS.com, KEEPS.com/HeyBabe to receive your first month of treatment for free. What is it, Sal? Tell him again.
That's KEEPS.com/HeyBabe to get your first month free. KEEPS.com/HeyBabe.
Hey, you got Bush? I bet you do. And guess what? It's getting hot out. The last thing you want is a full bush. So I have the answer. Manscaped. Honey, I'm doing the ad. Manscaped, okay? What you want to get out there in the summertime and you want to make sure your balls are nice and trimmed. You don't want any crazy hair out there. It's a nightmare down there if it's the hot summer months. Honey, I'm doing the ad. This is how we pay for your school. Manscaped. That's what you need to do. The Lawnmower 3.0 will keep your balls as smooth as eggs, as Dave Chappelle said. The Perfect Package 3.0 kit comes the Essential Lawnmower 3.0. It's waterproof. So if you have kids who like to flush things down the toilet, they can't flush this thing down the toilet because it's waterproof. You'll also find the Crop Reviver or the Ball Toner, a spray-on testy toner that's designed to make your balls smell irresistible. Be sure to add the refined cologne to your arsenal. You can get 20% off free shipping. All you got to do, go to manscaped.com/HeyBabe. That is manscaped.com/HeyBabe. 20% off free shipping. It's 2021 and you still got Bush? You can't do that, okay? It's about the bald eagle. We're Americans here. Manscaped.com/HeyBabe. Change that. No. Oh, wait, hold on. It's 2021. You still got Bush? No. You got to change that with Manscaped. Manscaped.com/HeyBabe. Manscaped.com/HeyBabe. Be free. Be bald. My mother's sister, my aunt, went to go wake up her mother on her 100th birthday for a big party, and she was dead in her bed on her 100th birthday. Clock struck midnight. She turns 100. We're having a big party.
Dude,
she dies on her 100th birthday in her bed.
I mean,
how nuts is that?
That's crazy, but that is baller.
Yep.
That's just like, you know what that is? I swear to God, this is what that is. Ready? The shot clock is literally, it's a fadeaway. It's a fadeaway jumper.
Could you imagine
she faded away at it was like 100. It just bucket, the place goes nuts. Yeah. And she fades away.
I mean, it would be like, and I forgot what she was born, but it'll be like whatever, like 1884, November 20th, 1884 to November 20th, 1984.
Was she tall?
She wasn't tall. That's what it was.
Checks out. Story checks out.
My grandfather, who was 6'6", died at 50.
There you go.
Pitched for the New York Giants.
Wow.
Yeah.
Your grandfather was a
professional
pitcher
for the New York Giants. Yeah.
Your grandfather.
My grandfather
was a professional baseball pitcher.
Yeah. Yes. Your gum fell out? All right, babe.
Did it hit the floor?
Yeah, did it hit the floor? Is it in Sal's couch?
No, as long as it didn't hit the floor. Okay, here's the thing. So for me, I don't know what made me do this, but since I'm a little kid, I always use 100 as the benchmark of a long, healthy life when you're supposed to pass.
Okay.
So like people make it to their 90s, I'm like, okay. But anything short of that, I feel like people are getting gypped. But really, the age is like, the life expectancy age is like 80s, isn't it?
I personally think if you make it to 90, you've lived a fantastic life. 90 years old, that's like, you really made it.
Right.
I mean, I just feel like 90 is 90. It's a long time. It's good. Anything over that, it starts to get a little like, what kind of quality of life are we having?
Right. I always just thought 100 because I had, like, my grandfather lived to
200?
2 months before.
Oh.
My grandfather lived to 2 months before his 96th, one of my grandfathers. And my great-grandmother, I think, lived to, 98. And then, I lost a little earlier than that. But I'm always like, so that's, like, where you should reach.
Right.
You know what I mean? But it is true. It's like, as long as I have a friend whose grandmother's, like, Casey and Colin's grandma, I think, is, like, high 90s.
Right.
And she lives alone and has all her wits and just fully functioning adult in society.
Fully functioning adult society.
God bless. I mean, the mental acuity you need. I mean, I can't. I'm gonna fall apart big time.
Oh, dude,
mentally and physically, I'm not even there now.
It's just different.
For real.
We're just different cuts of cloth of men. So my grandmother, who died at 100, her husband, who died, earlier in life, I didn't know that. I didn't know him. I don't think I ever even met him, or I was maybe a little kid. But my mother's father fought in World War I. Okay, as a 17, 18-year-old kid. before World War I, got injured, was whatever, like in hand-to-hand combat, like with the Germans in those trenches or whatever. When he's 18 years old, say. So he fights when he's 18. Yeah, which by the way, Thou Shalt Not Grow Old. The World War I documentary, I think it's called, what is it? Thou Shalt Not Grow Old, where Peter Jackson, the director of Lord of the Rings, brought to color World War I footage. Absolutely watch it, even if you don't like war and history. It's the sickest thing I've ever seen in my life to see it in World War I. Wow. To see World War I in video and pictures in color, and they had lip readers come in and see what the videos are saying, and they actually put voices to what the soldiers were saying and what they actually were saying in the video. It's crazy.
Where can I watch this?
This is it's Amazon Prime or Netflix,
wherever your local streaming service.
Sorry, HBO Max, which you can also check out in Practical Jokers.
Again, Amazon Prime, Netflix, HBO Max, Peter Jackson.
It's what it is.
We could just call this the plug.
Yeah. So, but the point is that we're just different kinds of men.
Yeah.
Because it was just cut different cloths. World War I, 18 years old, fights, comes home. In his 60s, goes and gets a routine surgery, whatever, old guy surgery, colonoscopy, gallbladder surgery, whatever. I think it was a gallbladder surgery. They go, gallbladder, takes out a bullet, was in his body. My grandfather had no idea. He had been shot by a German rifle. They had a bullet from 1919 that was in the back of his leg and had just throughout the years, found its way through his body and lodged itself. And was eventually
didn't even know it.
He had no idea he was even
walking
shot.
Around like, I might have a little lump here or something.
He said allegedly to my mom that we all got shot, things blew up. It's just part of the war.
Yeah,
you can't fix every hole, kind of thing. But he had a bullet in his body. He had no clue.
My grandfather, who passed away two months before, was 96.
Yeah,
he was in World War II, hand-to-hand combat in the jungles in New Guinea and everything.
Really,
told me crazy stories. Got attacked by an alligator when he was washing his clothes on a rock in a river.
Really?
Swear to God,
attacked by an alligator.
Ran in and banged him with the snout, knocked him off, saw it, jumped back on the rock, and the alligator was in there. He had to get away from the alligator.
Was he butt naked because he was washing his clothes?
He didn't say that part. If he did, if he was, he left that part out.
Interesting.
Another time he told me he choked on a poison on an apple.
In war?
No. When he was a kid, when he was a kid, he got sick from food poisoning, and he swallowed like an apple pit that was bad. And they said they had this like woman come to the house, and she made this concoction of like oils and stuff, and made him drink it, and then just gave him, and the apple shot out of him like an oily.
Really?
Yeah. He said he had back then. I mean, he was born 1918. You ate a bad apple.
Yeah, that's it.
You might be. It might be curtains.
Wow, it might be. Yeah,
Speaking of curtains, but we'll get to that in a second. But also he was swimming at a public pool, and someone jumped off a high dive board, and the heel of their foot. While my mom was there with them as kids, my grandmother and my two aunts and my mom, their heel hit him in the head, crushed his skull. He knocked unconscious, went down to the bottom of the pool, had to be rescued from the lifeguard, was unconscious, about to drown, caved a golf ball size hole in his forehead that then was never repaired. So my grandfather had a dent in his head right here.
You would see at his whole life.
It wasn't unsightly. It was almost like really kind of cool, like almost like a characteristic or anything, like a cool guy. Yeah. But it was a full pivot, a full see that?
Oh my God!
Not like that guy though. More like I don't know, like it was like right here. So it was like part in his hairline a little bit, and he lived with that, and it just was like from a guy's heel that crushed him.
So his whole life, his whole landscape of his head changed one day.
Full dent in his head. I've only known him with the dent.
Yeah.
By the time I was born, he had the dent. I don't ever know him dentless.
Yeah, dentless.
Yeah.
So he just told me go on.
Bullets were shot at him 100 times. One time they got ambushed, and he said his superior told him he had to run to go get something, and everyone that ran before him just got shot. And he was like, "Yeah, I'm just not going to do it." He's like, "I'm his superior." I'm like, "But if I go right now, this is the end of my life."
Yeah.
We need to talk about this.
Yeah.
And then he said that they left their camp, and then when they came back, all their stuff was looted and macheted to pieces because they wouldn't get their supplies back and their rations.
Right.
Like he was in the absolute shit.
We're different people.
I got a COVID test for the first time yesterday, and I cried and I slapped the man in the arm with me. I swear to God, I went for the first time to get a COVID test.
All the way up your nose.
All the way up. I didn't know anything about it. You said you got one.
I got one.
Oh, that's what it is. That's what happened to my nose.
Yeah, I got
one.
one.
He didn't go in straight. He went in up.
I went in up. He went in up for me too, but I think
he didn't, unless it's just, in my head, it felt like he went up. But maybe I went like this and he just went back.
I think they went back.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You can do that?
Positive or negative? On the COVID?
Negative.
Negative.
Rapid test 15 minutes later. It's the first time I have actually
Where did you do the rapid test? Local doctor? You go to City MD?
I went to what do you call this thing? Yeah, an urgent care.
15 minutes though.
15.
You just sit in the office, they say, we'll come right back.
20. I went in, had an appointment, walked in, they put me in a room.
Yeah.
They took me within 5 minutes. I went outside, waited in the car.
Yeah.
15 minutes later, they said negative. And I was like, oh my God, that was amazing.
That's it.
Because I've never known
Takes
from
all
the
the fear
beginning.
away.
I've never known that from the beginning. Obviously I haven't had it, but you never know if you have it.
You don't know.
You try your best, but you don't know if you're walking around with it. So it's like, it was a really cool feeling in that moment. He said negative. In that moment, I felt like a superhero.
Right. Yeah.
I texted my grandma. I'm like, I want to drive to Jersey right now. She's 90 and just give her a hug and a kiss.
The best is the people who got the antibodies but never got sick. They were so shocked that so now they're basically saying, hey, you're protected from this, and you never had to deal with even a sniffle.
Yeah, and I wonder
that's
if
a real
because
thing.
They got a case and it didn't kick in hard, and then they developed these little antibodies, or it was just something from something else.
Well, the newest research is thinking that some people, based off different colds and cold viruses and flu viruses they may have gotten from years past, are so similar to COVID-19 that it actually gave you an immunity to this without you even knowing.
God bless you, people.
Yeah, but
I have taken the antibody test and I didn't have them. So I'm negative across the board. But this guy, so I went in, I said, look, I got to be honest with you.
Yeah.
This has been on my mind.
Right.
I'm nervous a little bit.
Right.
And he's like, don't worry about it. It's not that bad. I said, all right. So he had to do it in both, by the way. Some places you don't. He had to do it in both. So he goes in and I'm like, all right. And I just thought, you did it.
I did it.
I knew from people like it's uncomfortable. It takes a second. It feels weird.
Right.
You might tear up. Someone said it feels like you're going to sneeze, what have you. He went in, and when I thought he was going to stop, it went in further.
Yeah.
And then when I thought that was going to stop, it went in further. And at that point, naturally, my instinct was to
go back,
move back.
Right.
And so he's pushing in, and I'm moving back. He's like, don't move back, don't move back. And he kept going in more. So my body's telling me stop it.
Right.
But as I move back, he's pushing in more. So it's almost like you're getting attacked.
You get right.
Right?
Right.
And when he did it, I was like, stop. And then I just slapped his arm.
Right.
Out of instinct, I went, stop.
Yeah.
And then I grabbed his arm and I pushed him off. He goes, boy, you can't push me. And I said, I'm so sorry. I said, I'm so sorry. It was a complete instinct. I grabbed his arm and I pushed it back.
Yeah.
And he goes, you can't do that. And I was like, I didn't mean to hit you and push your arm back.
Yeah.
And he just was polite about it. He goes, what are you, like a big baby? And I was like, yes, I am.
Yeah, and then he got slapped again.
And then the next one, I let him do it, and I didn't move. But
that's what people.
But again, my grandfather has a dent in his skull.
That's like the time. That's like because something's just reactions. And again, did not mean to do this at all. Just an honest reaction, and whatever. I paid the price. I went. I was with ex-girlfriend at the time. This was 8 years ago. I went to a haunted house in the city, around Halloween time, haunted house. A Jason guy comes out. But I punched him in the face. Yeah, and then and then again, not meaning to, whatever. He takes the mask off.
They get that more than you think.
And
what
was
happened?
thrown out of the haunted house.
Yeah,
and that's just what it was. But yeah, I punched him right in the face.
Right in the face. There's YouTube videos of that. People scaring people and them just lighting them up because your natural instinct is. I hate haunted houses. I don't like to go to them. I hate them. I've always have.
Me too.
I don't like people jumping out at me, grabbing me. I get an adrenaline rush that gives me a migraine headache.
Right.
I got taken to one of these things a couple of years ago. My friend's like, let's just go to one.
Right.
So we went to one of these walk-through haunted houses.
Right.
During Halloween time. And apparently, I didn't know this, but I'm going through, and a lot of times I'll just get in behind them like a human shield.
Yeah.
And because they chase you, these people, and I'm just trying to blend in because you walk through with a bunch of people.
Right.
And I'm trying to just stay in the middle of everyone.
Right.
And they were running after us down this hallway, and then one of the people's in this mask in all black, and they went, Sal. And I was like, oh, hell no. And I actually what happened was when he said Sal, my friend's lost their shit, and I was like, "Hey, babe," and I was like, "Oh my god!" And I went away. You weren't supposed to go because I was like, got so freaked out.
Yeah.
And I ran down a hallway and slammed through an emergency door, and I just went out like in the alley.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't supposed to. I didn't follow the route.
Yeah.
And I just ran out of the alley, and I was in a dark alley alone on the side of a building
with no way out. Like
there was no one else there, and then I was just like, fine, I'm just gonna run down the alley and out to the street now. I
Right.
guess it's over for me. And then that person came out.
Yeah.
That said Sal.
Really?
They came out, he pulled off the mask, and I thought maybe they might know who I am from TV.
The show, yeah.
It was someone I just knew from the neighborhood back when.
That's hilarious,
It
dude.
scared the hell out of me.
Yeah,
though.
I know. Want to just, I mean, I know like this, just whatever. We just follow the flow of the podcast. But I told this story yesterday to my friend group because I just remembered it. But you want to hear like a terrifying story that's like not funny, but it's just like a thing that really happened in my family's life.
Yes.
So, okay. So real quick. So.
I saw 2 horror movies last night. I'm ready for this.
Okay.
By the way, average lifespan 78.54 years. That feels low to me.
Okay,
and
but
that
let me
feels scary to me.
Let me tell you the asterisk. Let me tell you it's just,
that doesn't include people that got hit by a bus when they were 12.
and also people who live to 130. So
it's
120.
Like anything can happen at any age. 78.5.
Exactly.
But if you don't get hit by a bus or murdered, or you don't have any unfortunate thing early on, I wonder if they do one where it's like
most
prorated for people that get past 50.
When you do that, it's another statistic I forgot because they could just this is the way they have to do it. You have a very good chance, like over a 90% chance, I believe, of living into your 80s. Usually, most people will live into their 80s.
Okay.
With barring any type of tragic or
Got it.
So
this is less all the terrible stuff.
Right, but we still do have a lower life expectancy. I mean, look at Canada's 82.25. We're 78.54. We're neighbors.
Wow.
And they got 4 years on us.
Wow, that's a lot. 4 years.
Yeah.
In total life expectancy.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, so what happened is my aunt moved into this house in New Jersey like 15 years ago. And my aunt and my aunt and uncle are very not dramatic people, very honest people, religious, but very, very honest people. Yeah. They moved into this house, beautiful neighborhood. I think it was in Hohokus, New Jersey.
I know Hohokus as well.
Hohokus, well. Yeah, great name for a town, Hohokus. So they move in, and at the time they had my 4-year-old, I guess second cousin, who's now 20 or whatever. And then a baby who was like, my cousin who's like, she was like 10 months old at the time. But anyway, when you have a 4-year-old kid, everything that's going on with them, especially at that time, no iPads, no YouTube, nothing. You watch it on TV. You watch it on TV and that's it. And you know what your kid's watching. So anyway, first night they sleep in the house. They're sleeping, everything, my little cousin at 4 years old just gets up in his bed and starts singing Mary Had a Little Lamb. He's going, Mary had a little lamb, little lamb. And so they go in the room like, what are you doing? Like, it's just a nursery rhyme. Nobody's thinking anything. It's like you've heard that song before. Mary Had a Little Lamb. That's it.
Yeah. By the way, what is that?
Oh, God. Just creepy photos of kids.
Mary. Yeah, what is that photo on the right, though?
Yeah, it's just.
Is that Mary?
Jesus Christ. What is, yeah.
Didn't we look up Mary?
That's horrifying.
Who did we look up? Oh, okay. In Little Miss Muffet. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so Mary Had a Little Lamb. He starts singing it. And again, there's no reason to think anything like that, especially in the middle of the night. My aunt was like, look, Mary Had a Little Lamb, we didn't think like, oh, we've never taught him that song. Like, it's a song you've heard before. You're like, okay, maybe grandma, whatever.
Sure.
So anyway, the next day goes by, wakes up roughly around the same time again, starts singing Mary Had a Little Lamb, like 3 o'clock in the morning. So now they sit in the bed with him, and they're like, where did you learn this song? Yeah. Where are you learning Mary Had a Little Lamb? Like, did grandma, did they go through all my aunts and uncles? Did grandma, grandpa, did one of your friends? But they don't even have any friends. They just moved to a new neighborhood and nobody's, and he's like, no, Annie's singing it. Annie, right here. And then my aunt is like, what do you mean? He's like, Annie is right. She's right here. She's singing it. She's in the white dress. And they're like, okay. My uncle's like not freaking out. He's like, there's nobody in here. So just go back to bed. And my cousin is, my little cousin is not scared at all. He's like, all right, I'll go back to bed and we'll just, and then goes to sleep, whatever. Next night, wakes up, singing Mary Had a, it was like this, it was 3 nights in a row. They're woken up to Mary Had a Little Lamb, to their son singing Mary Had a Little Lamb. In the middle of singing Mary Had a Little Lamb, he goes, oh, I'm sorry. and they run in because now he's talking to someone, and he said, and he's literally, when my uncle said when they got into the room, my little cousin was standing at the edge of his bed with his arm out as if he was in conversation with someone, this little girl Annie in the white dress, and he's going, I'm sorry, my dad said we have to stay, but if you want, we'll leave. We will leave. So my uncle's like, who are you talking to? What's going on? And then he goes, Annie said, we have to stop singing Mary Had a Little Lamb and we need to leave. And my uncle's like, go back to sleep, or brings him into the room. We're going to go to sleep, whatever. They're acting like nobody's afraid. So that morning, my uncle goes to work, and in the their like bookshelf, they had on the top of the bookshelf a little triangular cutout where you could put like an American flag or something like that. But my aunt has the Bible in it. She has the Bible in there, and she knows for a fact she put that Bible in there when they first moved in. It's very important to her that the Bible is looking down on the family and all that stuff. And she hadn't taken it out, but she knew that she put it in. It was important that it was in. So my uncle leaves for work, and my little cousin says to my aunt, he goes, Annie said no more Bibles. And she's like, what do you mean, like no more Bibles? He goes, no more Bibles. So with that, my aunt goes to look at where the Bible is. It was turned upside down. So the Bible was upside down in its case that my aunt 1000% knows she put in the right way. Holy Bible with the cross. It's turned upside down. Calls my uncle. He had it was 2002, whatever, but had a cell phone in his car, or a car phone. Calls my uncle. Says, we're leaving this house. They were in it for 2 weeks.
You're kidding me.
Leaves the house. They go. They sell it. Short sell it to like a new family, whatever. Leaves. Go to the new house. Everything's fine. They're still in that new house. Everything's fine. The next year, my aunt goes to drop my cousin off at like whatever daycare, and sees one of the other mothers that used to live on the block, and says, sorry we so abruptly left. We abruptly left the house. Some weird things were happening. And she goes, it's interesting you say that. She's like, because the new family moved in about a month later and left within 2 weeks of you guys leaving. And it was the same thing that happened.
That is crazy.
And now with the house,
it's like literally a horror movie.
And the house was vacant. And literally no reason to lie at all. They had no reason to lie at all, my family. It never happened again.
Does your cousin at this age remember this?
He doesn't remember anything of it.
Damn it.
He doesn't remember a second of it.
I was like, let's get him on the phone right now.
He doesn't remember a second of it.
That's wild.
So that's, yeah.
I had one experience.
The only experience I've ever had, quickly, is I got into a massive car accident.
More quickly.
When I was 17. Well, just because I want to get to yours. But just...
this is the point of a conversation.
But because I have a hangover, if I don't get to mine quick, I'll forget it, because when I was 17 years old, I got into a massive car accident, like where the firemen were saying, like, we thought we were going to pull a dead body out of this car on Cross Bay Boulevard in Queens. Smashed.
Shout out Cross Bay Boulevard.
Shout out Cross Bay Boulevard. My grandfather had a stroke about 6 months before and was in hospice care, like unconscious, like just being kept alive on like a breathing life support.
Sure.
That happened at noon. At noon.
Shout out life support.
Shout out life support. At noon, when I got hit by this car, after it happened, I had to crawl out of the back window because it was collapsed like around me, like the engine, like the car eventually would set on fire.
Yeah.
It set on fire about a minute after I got out of it. But anyway, I smelled my grandfather, that scent that he has, that's unmistakable in an old man, that especially a family member, all around it. It was stuck to my clothes for days, like when you go into a Subway sandwich shop and it's just shout out Subway sandwich.
Shout out.
So yeah, $5 foot long, and then it sticks to your clothes.
Go away right away.
That's what it was. I like the tuna melt there, but and Parmesan oregano bread, I miss it.
Veggies are light. Scoop out the bread.
Fantastic.
Toast it.
Best. And they're doing breakfast now, Subway, by the way.
Are they really?
All
day?
Absolutely. All day.
Something else.
Tell them we sent you.
Contact us.
Yeah, contact us. We don't have a promo code because they're not a sponsor. So, all over. That's at 12 noon. Yeah. Smell him all over. He was on life support for 6 months, died at 3 p.m. That same day that I almost died in the car accident, he died 3 hours later. I smelled him all over me for days, and it's just wild.
Yeah, and that's you. That's coming right from you.
That's
it's not even
me.
Like,
that wasn't
that's
my
not even
aunt.
like my this, that, the other. You experienced that.
I experienced. He smelled all over me, and then he died 3 hours later.
Wow.
Yeah. So what's yours?
Some things you can't explain, man.
I can't explain. I do believe in some type of connection with family in the sense of, we can pick our friends. We can but like I didn't pick my daughter. My parents were picked for me by some higher power. Like I was given these people, so I believe in some type of spiritual connection with family that's unexplainable.
Yeah.
Because it's like, how am I? We're linked.
Right.
And there's something that we don't know yet.
Sure.
There's something in ourselves that are connected.
Who the hell knows? Like, it's just like.
So what's the thing that happened to you? What's the scary thing that happened to you?
I was.
I like this podcast is just whatever we want it to be
is
every
whatever it
episode.
is.
Yeah, and I hope the listeners are enjoying that.
I might have told
too.
you this before, but if I didn't, I don't believe in ghosts. I mean, look, I'm scared.
You don't?
I'm scared.
I'm gonna end it.
I'm like scared.
Oh,
like when it's time to be scared.
Right.
Like if you put me in a haunted house, I'm scared.
Sure, me too. Yeah.
And if you tell me there's a ghost in here, I might be scared. But like,
can you watch Investigation Discovery and shows like that by yourself alone at night?
Yeah.
I can't.
Look,
I can't watch it alone.
I'm scared when it's time to be scared. But like right now, us talking, I'll tell you, I don't think I believe in ghosts.
Okay.
I don't know. I believe in aliens.
Same.
Well, they're here. I mean, they're on the front page of the paper now.
Right.
But I don't believe in ghosts. I just everyone always is half asleep,
Right.
or it's at
Always
night,
something.
or it's alone and we heard and then we walked in and there was nothing there, or they saw it but I didn't see it,
Right.
Or I don't know. It's just always like so convenient. I think it has to be some type of like our minds
Right.
playing tricks on us type deal.
Some type of auditory hallucination. Right.
But all the stories are always the same. All these ghost hunter stories, they never find a ghost.
It's the same thing.
I know people that work on the shows, produce the shows. It's all a crock of full-on bullshit.
Yeah.
Shout out
Ghost Hunters. Yeah.
Ghost Hunters.
We
Shout
just
out
sunk you, but what can you do?
It is what it is. Also, I don't want to ruin anything for anyone at all.
Right.
But speaking of hunters, house hunters, is that what it's called? House hunters? Yeah, house hunters, also bullshit.
Wow.
Shout out house hunters.
Shout out house. Yeah, you both just went down in flames. Sorry.
Yeah, the people already live in the home that they choose, and they just go around and look at other properties.
Yeah. It's disgusting. It's bullshit.
Think about it. If you know production, it's hard to produce that show, and that's how they do it. And I found out, and it has really ruined it for me. I will say, I still give House Hunters regular a chance, but House Hunters International can eat a hay babe. Yeah. Shout out House Hunters. Not international.
Okay.
I'm laying in my bed. I lived alone. I was watching TV. I was falling asleep.
Yep. Sorry about that.
No, it's not you. It's me.
Yeah.
And I laid down, and I had the pillow, this arm under the pillow.
Okay. Now, is this the studio apartment you mentioned before? Or is this the house?
It was not. It's the house I moved in after. It's a 3-bedroom apartment. I moved in after it.
Right.
Not the studio.
This is a house. So this is a
It's
house
like
you're living in alone.
a house I split. It's a house I split with. Like I lived upstairs, someone lived downstairs.
Okay.
Lived alone. I'm laying in my bed. I'm watching TV, and I have my pillow here, and I have my pillow. And then I go. What I do is I have to, like I told you, I have to sleep with a CPAP machine lest I die.
Right.
I need air to be pumped into me physically in order for me to continue to be on this earth.
That's just what it is.
Otherwise, I'm going to have choking attacks, and then things are going to pile up, problems, issues, blood pressure, strokes, what have you.
Whatever, yeah.
So I wear the mask. It's here nor there. Listen, if you snore, you should always get checked out.
100%.
Because it was affecting my entire life. I was falling asleep behind the wheel.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, really.
And they do a surgery, but it's only 30% effective, and it is intrusive, and it can also grow back. Like, it can happen again even after you get the surgery. Get the mask.
CPAP's the only way.
We talked about this.
Yeah.
We talked about CPAP in an episode, right?
Yeah.
Because I told you it's really hard when you're with someone new to put on a CPAP machine.
And I told you, I thought the one time when we were sleeping, I thought you died. Yeah.
So one thing that it affords me to do, though, is I can pull the covers up over my heads because I have oxygen pumping into me like I have a deal with God. Like I can pull the covers up and I can get underneath the covers, but normally that would be too hot and you couldn't breathe. But me, because I sleep with a machine attached to me, I can go under the covers and it's my own little fort under there.
It's just what it is, yeah.
So I went to go to bed and I'm laying like this and I always pull my covers over me because it deadens the sound and it also acts as a sleep mask.
Right.
It's just a habit I picked up.
Right.
I had just laid down. No, hold on. I wasn't even in the goddamn mask. How about that? I wasn't even in the mask.
Okay.
But I had pulled it over my head.
Raw dog.
I pulled it over. I was going raw dog.
Yeah.
I was like just laid down. So it was like I wasn't like going right to bed. But I guess like the TV light was bothering me. And I remember like I pulled the blanket up to like this much. So I'm just like laying there. And it was only like a matter of a couple of minutes. I was wide awake. And I thought I heard someone say something. Now, here's nothing. My door to my bedroom was closed.
Okay.
I always close my door.
You're positive it was closed?
I'm positive it was closed. And 100% positive. I close it every night. I also close the door whenever I take a shower, and I also lock the door when I take a shower because of murderers and killers.
Sure,
so
absolutely.
I
also, every time I go into the bathroom, even if I'm just going to pee, I open up the shower door and make sure there's no one in the shower.
Really?
I do that constantly.
Okay.
Even if I've never left the house, I do it constantly.
I might, but I can see through my shower because it's glass.
Got it.
If it was like not, I probably would. But to this day, I swear to God, I will not go into my own shower without closing the bathroom door and locking it because you're very vulnerable in there.
100%.
And you're washing your hair and you're closing your eyes. If there's a murderer, a killer, a monster, a ghost, what have you,
right.
You don't want to be like, give them instant access to you.
Yeah, no, you don't want to do that.
So when I go to bed, I still close my bedroom door and I lock it.
Right.
So I'm not sure if it was locked, but it was closed. And I pulled it up and I thought I heard someone say something. Not the TV. As a matter of fact, I had lowered the TV right before. The TV was very low, if not muted, and I was like getting ready for bed. And so I didn't shut it yet because I still like the glow a little bit for me to fall asleep. So I thought I heard someone, like one person, not like TV, like a person say a couple of sentences. And I'm just like, I didn't think anything of it. I'm like, maybe I didn't lower the TV all the way. But then I heard the door.
Okay.
And I'm like, but I wasn't really like, I'm just laying there just like, not really thinking. I didn't like hear it like slam open. I just heard movement.
Right.
Movement.
Right.
And then I just felt like somebody was in the room. I don't know how to explain it. I just felt it.
Right.
I heard some words. I felt movement, and I felt like I maybe heard someone walking. It was carpeted, but you just felt it. And I didn't think anything of it. Like I didn't think certainly I was going to be attacked by a ghost or anything like that or anything. I didn't know what I was. But then a moment later, I really did feel like someone was standing above me. I don't know how to explain it, but my hand, this hand, since it was the only thing not under the covers. And I'm telling you right now. So someone then went like this, held my hand. Something, I don't know what. I felt my hand get grabbed. And then it was being held, and then it got squeezed a little, and then squeezed a little more, and squeezed a little more.
No.
I swear to God. To the point where I felt this kind of pressure on my hand.
This, by the way, this is real pressure. Like he's like squeezing your hand.
That's what I felt on my hand. So in my head.
You're paralyzed with fear now.
Paralyzed.
Yeah.
Paralyzed. And this all happened, I would say, in a matter of 20 seconds. But in my head, the first thing I thought of, again, super fast, was, okay, someone's holding me now. So what I just thought I heard someone say something or walk in here is true. And they are standing above me, and they're trying to see if I'm sleeping or not. I didn't think it was a ghost. I thought it was a home invasion.
Right.
And I said, I have to make sure that I'm awake right now and I'm not dreaming this. And I was. I was like, I am breathing. I'm looking around. I am awake right now.
This is real.
The pressure on my hand is getting even more. And I think what this person is testing me to see if I get up. And who knows, they might stab me, club me, shoot me, or I don't know what's going to happen. But what I did was not react to the squeezing. And I just made like I was still sleeping. And I said, what am I going to do right now?
Right.
And it let go. And I said, the only chance I have right now, if this person is standing above me, is if I surprise them and jump up and be ready to fight for my life.
Right.
I'm thinking this under the covers.
Yeah.
And
in milliseconds.
Milliseconds. I said, I'm awake. I'm 100% awake. I know I'm awake. I know I'm being squeezed right now. I thought I heard something. I guess someone's standing above me. It's either I might get killed right now. That's what I thought. And I just was, fight or flight thing. And I just was like, I had to count to 3 right now, and I'm going to jump up and fight for my life.
Right.
And I even had an idea to get into the closet because I had a little Yankee bat in the closet that I kept that they give out on like bat day.
Right.
I had like a Yankee bat in the closet. I knew it was there, and I'm like, I'm going to just fight, and I'll go for the bat. And I counted to 3, and I said, I'm going to swipe the covers off, and in one motion stand. So I'll be standing on the bed. At least I'll have like some leverage above me.
Right.
And I just went 1, 2, 3, and I went. I screamed at the top of my lungs. I went, ah! I threw the covers off me. I leaped up, and I'm on my bed, and nobody was there.
Nobody
was there, and my door was closed. And I was like, yo, hey, babe, this.
Yeah.
And my TV was on, and I flipped the light on, and I was like, did they walk back out? And I got the bat. I swung the door open, and I just screamed and ran inside. My door was locked. My lights were off. Nobody was in my house. Nobody. So what I did was I went into the living room, turned every light on, and stayed up for the entire night after that.
Of course.
Because I was like, if this is a ghost, it was a ghost, I guess. I don't believe in ghosts, but I don't know what it was. Spirit, I don't know. I put it this way. I don't know what it was, but that happened to me. I was awake. Dude, I jumped up. I jumped up to fight. I wasn't like sleeping. You know, the only thing I could maybe think of is that I was sleeping, dreamt that, even said I am awake in my dream, and then jumped up out of dream to fight. But I'm telling you, I just went to bed. I wasn't sleeping. I just laid down. It was moments after I laid down and I lowered the TV. I was awake. I was fully awake. I didn't fall asleep yet. I didn't even have the machine on me. So I can't explain it, but that happened to me.
That happened.
But my family, like, full on believes in ghosts. Like, every one of them's had a ghost experience.
That's possible.
I always roll my eyes. They tell me the stories like they leave when they come home. In the house they live in now that they are just actually moving out of, they told me like they've come home and every kitchen cabinet is open. And that's happened twice. And my stepmom screamed, and my dad came in and he said everything was open. And then that was weird. And then one night my sister came home and all her drawers in her room were open, and she freaked out. And so now they were hyper aware of this happening. And this is what my sister will say. I could ask her. I question them to their face. They swear to God that then she would leave and then she would close her room door and lock it from inside, where you need that little like thing to open it. You know, those are old room doors. You put the little like that little thing in and go like that, because if you lock it from the inside, you can't get it from the outside.
Yeah.
So she would put that above the thing. They live alone. She came home one day. Her room was locked. She took the thing off the top, unlocked the door, opened it. All the drawers were open again. And after that, my sister wouldn't sleep in that room ever again.
Yeah, I wouldn't sleep in that room ever again either.
I mean, I still don't believe them.
But
I don't know what to tell them. Like,
listen,
I believe that they're not lying, but I'm like, maybe there was like an earthquake. I don't know what the hell happened. But.
Listen, it's one of those things where we had a lot of fun on this episode. I wish the big thing I want to talk about is Sal's new allergy to mushrooms, but you're going to have to wait till next episode for that.
I made a list of things that I wanted to like maybe talk about.
Did we even get to one of those things?
I took a COVID test.
That's it.
We didn't get to my mom's shades, blood pressure, a bad experience I had at Blue Ribbon Sushi, the 4th of July hot dog eating contest, UFOs, Phil Collins, and the Mummy video.
You better listen to the next episode of Hey Babe.
Don't be a fake, don't be a flake, don't run away